Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 18 July 2016. Coming to you this evening with the first in a series of 3 videos. We'll just call them show and tell videos. I've got sort of the blessing of having in my possession for a couple months a big chunk of a very cool collection from my subscriber and sharpening customer Tommy, and he's been collecting for a while, and he has an eye for significant knives. This one is really kind of cool. This is an original Paul knife by Gerber. Back in the 70s, a mechanical engineer with a career in the aerospace industry. And guys, forgive me if I can't pronounce his name because I searched and searched and searched and couldn't find a source for the correct pronunciation. But his name was Paul Pullman or Peelman, Poehlmann. And good thinking, Paul, for calling the knives by your first name and not your last name. So he was bitten by the bug, as many engineers are, the knife making bug. And in the early 70s, he started to make custom versions of this knife with his Axial locking system. A one-handed opening knife, and you can tell that Paul was an engineer because his mechanism, his method for making a knife one-hand openable that locks closed and locks open with manual action was pretty complicated. We're going to talk about this axial mechanism, but before we get into it too deeply, here's a picture, an exploded view of this lock, so you'll kind of have a frame of reference as we finish talking about the knife. Here's what the drawing looks like. Take a look. Okay guys, if you want any more time to study that, you're going to have to hit the pause button or go to DougRitter.com. Most of the historical and factual information about the genesis of this knife I got from Doug Ritter's website. Doug actually was part of a collaboration of a run of Paul knives in 2007. The knife came back in the 70s in a very nice latching plastic box with one of these sort of spray-on velvet molded plastic liners. And guys, if you've got any Smith & Wesson revolvers from this period, for a few years they came in a beautiful wood case with one of these liners, and most of them are cracked up and most of them have been removed and thrown away. So a great testimony to Tommy's curation of his collection is that the box is in such good shape. Came with this little product brochure, a turning point in the art of knife making, the Paul knife by Gerber, an explanation of the mechanism, and then a care instructions section signed by Pete Gerber, back when the Gerber family owned Gerber Legendary Blades, produced them in the United States of America. They were a legend in precision and a fitting company. Paul chose to produce his knives because they required lots of precision. Check out the leather slip. Looks like the knife has never been in it. Beautiful. Okay guys, let's get into the knife. So the axial locking mechanism is really what this knife is desirable for. I mean, when you look at it, if you didn't see this large round pivot / locking mechanism, it would look like hundreds of thousands of other all stainless steel presentation knives that might have been given to a customer, a purchasing agent, by a guy that sold fasteners for a living. But this one's kind of special. The knife is locked in the open position. When the thumb and forefinger squeeze together, the axial locking mechanism, it allows the knife to be closed. Now it's locked closed. If I want to open it, squeeze together again, rotate the handle down, and it's locked open. It kind of acts in its actuation sort of like a Chevy truck locking differential. A big old spring holds everything out. When you depress the spring, it allows things to turn within each other. Release it and it locks. Very cool. If you guys want to watch a video of an expert actuating the knife, there are a couple videos by Lone Wolf Knives. I'm not very good at it, as you can see. But on YouTube, there are a couple videos by Lone Wolf Knives operating the knife as designed. I don't really have enough room here in front of the camera, and I don't want to be snapping this 40-year-old knife open and closed. So here's sort of the history. In 1976, Paul enlisted Gerber to produce these blades in volume after several years of making them as customs. They made them for about 10 years, till 1986. It was kind of a labor of love and a nightmare all at the same time. It took sort of constant supervision of pre-production and the production cycle by Pete Gerber and Paul to get these things right. And I think they probably lost money or didn't make much, as they ran 70,000 of these in that first run of about 10 years. And then they finally pulled the plug in 1986. Paul, not to be deterred, continued to work on the design of the axial lock, which does have a patent, I think, on the back side. Yeah. We can see our U.S. patent number. But he continued to improve it and simplify it, make it more manufacturable. And very quickly after they ceased production of the original Model 2P, as this one is, they fired it back up. Still marketed by Gerber, but the blade's being produced now by a California machine shop. That didn't go well. They produced about 23,000 of them, and the cost overruns incurred by the new manufacturer priced the blades out of market, and gone they were again until 2002. 1999, a new, even more simplified axial locking mechanism was patented by Paul. And in 2002, they began to be produced again in a variety of styles with a variety of handle materials by one of our favorites, the now extinct Lone Wolf Knife Company. And they made them until Benchmade bought them, I think in 2013-ish. Benchmade actually continued to produce the Paul knife for about another year, until they killed Lone Wolf. And for now, the Paul knife is sort of a dinosaur. But what a cool mechanism. I know you guys with ball bearings and frame lock flippers might not think so, but look at that. It just falls open smoothly. Oops, I got it backwards. Come on. Oh, there. Doggone it. Sorry for my ham-handedness. It really is a lot more slick than I'm making it look. You kind of have to be standing with some room. They're a little quirky. The blades are a little funky. Got some serious plunge grind issues going on, but they are sharp. I don't know if Tommy's done any work on this edge, but I think they came pretty doggone sharp out of the box. That's not bad. That's that super limp Natchez Shooter Supply catalog paper. And let's see, let's nestle it down into its little pocket slip. What a great gent's knife. I just thought you guys would like to see that. Take a little break from the latest and greatest new ZT flipper on the market and take a look at, you know, one of the knives that got us here, so to speak. Very, very cool blade. Back with a couple more. Stay tuned, my friends. Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. And remember, the word is sharp.